Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome live to Apex Racing TV for the final round of Season 4 of the ARL Mazda Cup here at Mount Panorama. There's no car race circuit in Australia quite like Mount Panama. The hairpin turns, long hills, and exhilarating descents have made it one of the most admired and challenging tracks in the world. The perfect mix of speed, endurance, and excitement, Mount Panama ticks every box. However, despite its global fame, Mount Panama isn't a permanent racetrack. The track is made up of public roads that access homes and farms, and usually maintains a strict 60km/h speed limit. There certainly won't be any 60km/h speed limits around here out on track tonight. For the last race of the season, we will be entertained with two 25-minute races with a reverse grid for race number 2. There are still two championships to be decided tonight, who will stand top for both the Pro-Am and the Am. Who will thrive under the pressure and who will fall by the wayside? Only time will tell. I am Andy Thompson. I'm joined in the box by ex-driver and commentary extraordinaire Austin Knight, and in the production box we have the wonderful Samuli with the cameras and all the overlays for tonight. So welcome, Austin, to the last round of the season, mate.
Yeah, what a time to return back to the booth. I've been commentating Bathurst this weekend. I think this is number 4. I've seen a lot of Bathurst races so far this weekend, but in Formula 3 cars. So, hey, we're getting the cars widest here, and in the MX-5s. It's going to be a wonderful afternoon here, and I'm going to have a lot of fun up here in the booth with you again.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe you had some great memories last season when we visited this track, doing exceptionally well out on track yourself. So one of them tracks that everybody loves in iRacing. I mean, I certainly love to watch it, maybe not race it, but I certainly love watching it. So we're just going into a 10-minute qualify where the drivers all are on track at the same time. Probably see all the teammates joining up together to try and get that slipstream. But it's certainly going to be all the more important, being that I said before that we've got two championships still to be decided here tonight, the Pro-Am and the Ams. And Austin, I'll let you go over the current standings in each of the classes.
Yeah, indeed. And winning the Pro Championship, clinching it, is Roberto Ferrari. He's not here this week. He doesn't even... No, he actually just showed up. He wasn't in practice, but he doesn't even need to be here. He has clinched that championship. Marcelo Pagnam, according to Andy, is on thin ice right now and could lose second place to Premslav Martina followed by Paul Hayden, Orizo Principato, Enrico Musumeci, Ivan Pinocchio, Dan Skinner, and Rafael Drazgaz is your top 9 pros right here. But you can see the lead that Roberto Ferrari has in that championship is absolutely monstrous, and no one can catch up to that. The championship fight that we are looking for right now is the Pro-Ams. Jacob Zerduchki and Matteo Barlogio are in that fight for the championships. They're followed by Arias Humantis, Bartomeusz Kadidza, Christian Napella, Ronald Moons, Rafael Lenzi, Alan McCain, Nathan Maximian, and Thor Dulo. At 145 points, Thor is a long way gone, but that top 4 is really tightly packed. So it could be anybody in the top 4's game in the AMs. Pro-Ams going to the AMs. Oh my gosh. You can line anybody in the top 3 up and they have a chance. They actually have a tie right now. Russ Fowler is a 6-point lead ahead of Jens Goosens and Tom Bingham. Any of these 3 drivers can walk home with the championship here today. They are so tightly packed, and in these 2 races, I'm pretty sure whoever's going to be finishing on top here, on top of both these drivers, out of these 3, whoever finishes the top out of the next 2 races will be walking home the AMP championship. They're followed by David McMullen, who has a chance to win this championship too as well. Simon Serranio, Niels de Cooper, Yes Fedrick, Ian May, and Jay Walsh as well. But look how that top 3 in this AMP championship has always been so close together. It's going to be really hard to call this race for the AMs.
It certainly is, as well as the Pro-Ams. You know, you saw there the 3rd and 4th places, 1 point between Kedzia and Arias Germanta. So there's going to be battles there, but that AM one is an intriguing one. Russ Fowler was well off the curve at the start of the seasons, but has put in some exceptional results. And the last time out at Hockenheim really accelerated him from 4th place to 1st, with the other 2 drivers, Tom Bingham and Jens Goosens, having a bit of a torrid time around Hockenheim. So really clawed the points back, and obviously leading the championship here in the last rounds. One of the things to add to the spice as well, unfortunately, Jens Goosens has got 2 pit lane starts here tonight. So if he's going to win this championship, he's going to be doing it the hard way from the pits.
Yeah, Jens Goosens, we know on how fast that he is. He won the first round at the Nürburgring. Great start by him, and a great race driven by him around there. Tom Bingham, it was possibly a great arch of success. Didn't have the best first few races, just like Russ Fowler did, but nearing the end of the season, he just came into his own.
Yeah, it's all about consistency with Tom. He's a very consistent driver. He's always up in the top 3rd of certainly the AM standings, and half the time he's in the top half of the grid. And it's all about consistency for Tom, and that's one of the big attributes that he does have. Same with Russ Fowler, really. You know, he tries to be as clean as he can do, and he's come on leaps and bounds in the second half of the season, really put the pressure on now, and has taken it to Tom and Jens, and it's going to be really interesting for that AM victory overall. But let's not forget the Pro-Ams as well. There's a big fight at the top of the Pro-Ams as well. So we've got, I'm trying to think, we've got, who's at the top of the Pro-Ams now? Well, they're very close anyway, and then obviously 3rd and 4th we've got 1 point difference there, so it's all to play for at the top of that. Zerdzicki and Bellagio. There you go. The 2 names popped up and brought it into mind. So those 2 are fighting out for the win, but there's still opportunities for the 3rd and 4th players, as we see the 2 teammates there just trying to get a little bit of space out on track. But Roberto Ferrari, I think he caught us both off guard, because I wasn't expecting him tonight. Literally popped into the session probably at the last possible minute, and just puts in the fastest lap. The man is a machine.
Yeah, I think he did join at the last moment. It's like, I'll show up, why not? I already won it. I'll show up anyway.
Exactly. Well, when you got drop scores of 2nd and 2nd, I don't think you really. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, his last round out at Hockenheim didn't go to plan. He didn't keep that number 1 or number 2 positions. There was quite a lot of incidents around Hockenheim in the last one out, the 3 15-minute races we had. That's a reason why we have got quite a few pit lane
I won't be
starts.
surprised if Ferrari attempts a jump during the race.
You know,
If he pulls out a gap, I'm expecting a jump from somebody during the race.
Well, I'm just wondering if we'll see the Ferrari-esque pass that he did last season
in the grass.
Over the grass coming down the Conrad Straight. So that was very entertaining. I don't think the other drivers appreciated, but I mean, just the audacity of the guy to say, right, I've got the 2 old-time racers side by side. I'm going to go across the grass.
Well, I appreciated it because I replicated that move twice in the round after that.
Did it pay off? Did you
I gained 9 spots, so yes.
Oh, great.
So, to be fair, the entire track was blocked from a crash, and so I just jumped it off a hill, taking your super truck line.
Oh yeah, that's the line to take. But
and then I did a double overtake in the grass as well, which I think you saw that you asked, did I yell yeehaw over the mic? Yes. Yes, I did.
That was in Alton Park, was it not?
Yes, it was. My least favorite track.
There you go, there you go. But tonight's race, we have got quite a few pit lane starters. We've got Alan McCain, who's not joined us here tonight. That was Russ Fowler and
176 of Ronald Moons. That's on Ronald. Broke a little bit too late on Russ, and Russ not going to be happy about that one because he hasn't put in a lap yet. And he was on a pretty good lap today, right there.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to be able to put in a qualifying lap because of that incident. And Fowler going to be starting from the end of the grid. Jens Goosens will be starting for the pit lane. Tom Bingham is up there in 7th.
Wow.
Well, that's advantage Bingham right there, and that could affect the championship right there.
Certainly could. I mean, I better be receiving there, Russ. I was chatting to himself and Tom before the practice went live, and both quite nervous about this one tonight, but really looking forward to the battle out on track there. I'm pretty sure that we'll see these 2 guys joined up together trying to fight it out for that AM championship. So at the moment, like you say, advantage Tom Bingham in 7th place overall in the qualifying sessions. A reverse grid of 10 places for race number 2. So we've got to try and get in that all-important top 10 bubble. But Russ Fowler, with not setting a time here, will be scampering around on this last lap to see if he can get it in, but he will have a damaged car, so I wouldn't expect him to be that competitive.
Well, he also started that lap with about 1 minute 30 seconds to go, and it takes 2 minutes 30 if you're on Ferrari pace to get around here. So even with time for Russ Fowler, he will not be able to qualify for this race. And currently, right now, he's at the bat. He's scored as the last car on the grid. Now he has put in 2 laps, so I think that will put him ahead of a few of the drivers in the pit lane, but there's going to be a bit of a gap at the end of the field because 2 drivers have invalidated laps. Rafael Lensley and Russ Fowler are the 2 that haven't done a clean lap, so Fowler not going to be happy at Ronald Moons for that incident. Tom, he's probably going to be blessing his stars right now as qualifying is got 5 seconds to go. As in ARL fashion, are we going to see somebody take the jump? No, we aren't. As they get snapped away, and this is going to be our starting grid.
So out on pole, we've got Roberto Ferrari. Jumped in the session at last minute and just sticks it out on pole. Dan Skinner, the second of the pros in P2. But then we have the melee of Pro-Ams and AM drivers about. On the top of the for the Pro-Ams is Christian Napella in 3rd place there. Matteo Baloggio in 4th. Tony Pierman, the top of the AMs in 5th. Arias Germantis in 6th. Tom Bingham in 7th with Bartolomeo Kezia in 8th place. Damien Mullen in 9th. Paul Hayden in 10th. 11th is Mikael Lees and 12th Ronald Moons. In 13th we have David Klasper. 14th we have Jakub Zertsky. 15th, Simeon Serrano. 16th, Ivan Pinocchio, Principato. Russ Fowler does get 18th on the grid. 19th is Jens Goosens. 20th, Raphael Lesney. Lee Shields in 21st. And rounding out your field of 22 here tonight is Jay Walsh. But we do have, like I say, quite a few pit starters. Ivan Pinocchio, Jens Goosens, Orion Principato and Lee Shields all starting from the pits, as we will probably see gaps towards the back end of the field.
Russ Fowler did get a little bit lucky with where he was starting. It was currently putting him in 22nd out there, but he is going to be starting from 18th. He's got but look how far he is compared to everybody else. He's already got a big gap to him, to that group up there. So he's going to have a little bit of time, but to catch up to everybody, but it's not going to be that much of a gap. Jens Goose is starting from the pit lane in that AM Championship. But we are all lined up and ready to rock and roll here at Bathurst for a wonderful season finale. 2 25-minute races are on the schedule here today, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it looks like Barloggio has got an advantage in the Pro-Ams in 4th place, but the lights do start coming on now, so we're ready to race, and we are racing. Ferrari gets a decent start there. Skinner getting tucking in a second, and Leppert there in 3rd place. So they all struck into the single file as they come around Hell's Corner for the first time down the mountain straight. So I expect a big long line of cars as we see out on track. So everyone managing to get through that first corner, and we don't quite see the pit lane starters there coming out of the pits as we see them in the background there, so just coming on to the back. But do have a bit of side-by-side action here by Tony Pearman, just looking on the inside in the 171 car, just trying to get round at the outside, but doesn't manage to get it done. Good move really, with these tyres being so cold and these Mazdas being really tricky on the first lap until them tyres do get warmed up.
Yeah, Tony Pyramid is able to make that move down to the inside. Yamantis, few drivers already making a few moves. Paul Hayden made the move on the straightaway to get ahead of Damian McMullen, already improving a spot on the straight. So, you know, Paul definitely found out a better start and carried the momentum. Let's ride on board of iRacing Mantis as we run through Skyline right now, and these Mazdas on lap 1 up here can get really loose and really hard to control, so it's all about car control. You can see Yamantis right on the bumper of Tony Pearman as they head into the dipper, and with a few of the AMs ahead of him, I can tell you the Pro-Ams and some of the top pros are going to have a little bit of time getting through some of the traffic when they are starting from the pit lane. Jay Walsh did not take the start. He is just being scored and is just there. You can see already in these Mazdas locking up at the final corner. And that final corner is going to be probably the trickiest for all these drivers. And you can see Pyramid defending all the way down to the inside. Yamantis getting a good run. Now we're going to start seeing drivers start to snake away. Pyramid putting under pressure from Yamantis. Yamantis using Bargalogio ahead of him. And they're going to drag race around the outside. Pyramid drops down, but Pyramid's not out right there. Down to the inside goes Yamantis. Pyramid goes deep.
Whoa.
Pyramid too deep right there. Goes into the grass, and Tom Bingham's in the grass as well.
Yeah, following the sheep there, I think was Tom on the end, but Tony Pearman getting it completely wrong, and Barloggio got it wrong in front of him as well. He took the extended line there coming down in to Murray's corner. Bit of door banging there. Mikhail Lee seems to be getting in the wars in these past couple of rounds at the moment. The 233 car we can see on the left-hand side of the screen, but at the moment we've got 166 right in the middle. Big
in the hell corner. In the background as Jacob Zadutsky. Gives him an elbow. And pushes the 233 out wide out. That's probably a little bit of payback from the corner earlier when the 233 didn't give Zadutsky enough of the room heading into the braking zone, but that was a clear push out wide as these guys are lined up 3 wide. They're looking for 3 wide. I wouldn't be going 3 wide right here, but they are definitely not getting up a lot of room to each other as Russ Fowler, who started from the back of the grid, kind of in no man's land, is up into 14th. Tony Pearman in 13th. Tom Bingham is 8th, and Yamantis in 4th.
Yeah, he's in 4th, doing an excellent job at the moment. Obviously fighting with Kedzia, who's just a few places back in 7th place in that Pro-Am battle.
Well, I was trying to find Jens Goosens. I got
Goosens down the bottom in 20th.
Yeah, Goosens, he's actually lost a spot coming out of the pit lane. But that fight that we were seeing back there is good for Goosens, allowing them to catch up. They started about 8 seconds behind that gap, but now they're about 3 seconds, I think, to that Lency and Lessie fight, which is still going on. Lessie around the outside into the Dipper. Oh my gosh, and there's contact off the end. These two are going to end up with scrap metal for cars at the end, but what a attempt around the outside. He's made it work too. Heading into the... Have you ever seen that?
That was some elbows out coming down there. I don't think Serrano was probably too happy with the fact that he had Mikael just trying to pass him down. That it's very unusual to see a pass made, and for Mikael to be able to keep that pass, really good. You know, it's so easy to cause an instant spin your car coming down through that Dipper. He's done an exceptional job at the moment. Maybe Serrano will not feel the same and wants to get immediate retribution coming down into Murray's corner here.
Oh, he goes deep into the brakes. He saw him early and then goes into the grass. Yeah, I noticed that he broke a little bit later than Serrano and Pinocchio right there. And, well, I just immediately saw that he was going deep, and he definitely went deep into the grass. And now he's being overtaken down onto the inside. The 144 of Lency on Lessie. Once again, these two are side by side with each other, and right behind them is Jens Goosens. Goosens fighting for that championship, starting from the pits in this race, and onto the inside goes Lessie on Lency. And Lessie, he had to back out a lot, get onto the binders. Here comes Goosens onto the back of Lessie, and this is where Goosens needs to start making up those moves. Top 10 will be flipped around, and at the start of the second race, it's currently Tom Bingham going to be on the second row.
Certainly is, and Klasper obviously securing that reverse grid pole at the moment in 10th, but still a long way to go. 19 minutes left of this first 25-minute race. Ferrari out in front, but we've got a bit of company behind him with Malepa there in second, Skinner just behind him in third, and Jamantis in fourth. Then a big gap but back to fifth with Paul Hayden, and then you have the big battle, Barlow, Gio, Kedzia, Bingham, Moon, Klasper, all there in a big long line from pretty much down from 5th down to 9th place till 10th place. So 5 cars in a big long train there. But we got a bit of a split of the field here at the front of the back. Oh, no, Lepa there
got loose.
Really loose. How he kept that was quite impressive.
Really loose through the dip right there, but able to stay in that group of 4, led by championship locked in. Ferrari, as Principato has fallen down to 20th.
Yeah, he's had a crash, Principato, at the back of the field. I'm not sure what happened there. I wonder if we could get a quick replay of that one, but certainly caused a lot of damage, and well off the back of the field is Principato.
Yeah, Principato up here in the Dipper ahead of Lessie. And the car ahead of him just slammed onto the brakes, and just carried too much speed to win a round right there. Still in, but around, and had to get onto the binders right there. That spun him around coming out of the Dipper.
I'm sure this is a replay of the last year's race around here. Ferrari was out front from the majority of the race and literally got pickpocketed in the first of the 2 15-minute races we had around here coming down the Conrad Straight. So I wonder if that's in the back of his mind, if that's going to happen again here tonight. Obviously the pressure's all off him. He's won the championship here, so pretty much out just to have a bit of a fun and cement his legendary status in these Mazda cars, but he'll have that in the back of his mind, I'm pretty sure, from last year's races around here.
Yeah, Ferrari's probably not worried about the 4 cars behind him. Right there is going to probably the most thing he is worried. He should probably be worried because Nailbub was looking down the inside of him again. And
He's flashing as well.
Nailpa definitely wants to get scrappy.
He does. He's flashing a lot as well, so jumping in and out, which will be putting off Skinner behind him in third place there. Seen him a few times just disappear and reappear, which is not very good for the driver following on behind, not knowing where that car is, and with them being so close, could cause a contact with him blinking out a little bit. Always.
Oh, wide goes Nailpa. Nailpa up onto the curb. Skinner could have snuck his nose down there. And taking a very opportunistic look, but you know, in this 25-minute race, we are just closing in on 10 minutes. It's not about aggression. I would say it's a good combination of endurance and semi-aggression right there. And Nailpa blinking right into Forrest's elbow. Oh, you never want to see that happen because they can mess up that corner when they're off in that different world. The next thing you know, car appears ahead of you sideways.
Yeah, that's why I think we've seen Skinner just back off a little bit from Malepa there in second place just because of that blinking, but that will open him up to Jamantis in fourth place as he's right on his
playing the safe part. He sees Nailpa blinking up ahead, and I think a little bump and run right there for Jamantis, though bump and push. They're probably just waiting for the right moment, wait for 5 minutes to go, and then go on to attack mode because Ferrari and Nailpa's been looking a little bit aggressive, but with that blinking, yeah, that could definitely throw a driver off if they're behind him.
Yeah, it certainly can do. But let's have a look at further back in the field. So the AM battle at the moment is being...
Goossens involved against Goossens, AM championship leader, starting from the pit lane, entangled with Simon Serrano.
So coming down here into the chase, Jen's trying to defend on the inside.
Oh, Simon got into the grass in the braking zone and just got turned in right there. And that is well, I think that will throw Goossens out of the championship decision as Nailpa goes down low and up into the lead.
Great move there, coming down mountain straight into Griffin's Bend, up through the mountain section for the first time with Nailpa in first place. Ferrari maybe let him through there, but obviously thinking back to last season, getting that slipstream effect down the Conrod straights. We are 11 minutes into the 25 minutes, so still over half the race left to go here, but these front four well and truly ahead of the field with Paul Hayden heading the second group, which has Baloggio, Kedzia, Bingham in fight, and Moon's just getting off the back. So from 9th down to 12th, all big gaps. But look at Russ Fowler at the moment, the man on the mission, the leader of the AMs, currently in 12th position.
Not leader. Jens Goossens was the leader.
No, Fowler was the leader.
It was Fowler, okay.
Yeah, Fowler.
Goossens, okay. I had it written down wrong in my notes.
But he's doing an exceptional job at the moment, up P12. He needs to try and get that 2 places more, to try and get that reverse grid for the second race, and that'll put him in a really good stead with a fight for Tom. Tom's currently pretty much stable up there at the back of the second group in P8 at the moment. So that battle, as long as Fowler can get that last or into 10th spot for the reverse grid pole, which is not undoable. It's only 0.4 of a second behind Zetsiki in 11th and 3 seconds, around about 2 seconds behind Pierman in 10th. So it's doable.
It definitely is, but he's got to also make sure that he stays within 8 spots of Tom. And down to the inside, the 166 says, "Nah, Russ, I'm gonna make you earn this one." He goes into the corner, holds it off out there. Then the 89 of Pinocchio pushing Zerdetsky down to the inside to get ahead of Russ Fowler. Fowler's going to have to try to hold it around the outside of Zerdetsky, but Zerdetsky gets onto the curb. Fowler gets onto the curb off the exit, and Fowler holds it around the outside with all the pushing and the better exit in the world. Zerdetsky wasn't able to hold off Russ Fowler. Fowler now being pushed ahead of Zerdetsky from Ivan Pinocchio, and now Fowler is in 11th just for right now, because I'm pretty sure the pusher Pinocchio is definitely going to be wanting to get ahead, as there's a little case of sad Mazdas with both rearview mirrors broken right there.
Yeah, definitely. But Russ Fowler, oh, as he blinks out here.
Big blink.
He probably wants to let Pinocchio go in front. He's doing the right thing here, and he just needs to tuck up behind Pinocchio, who's a very quick driver in his Mazdas. Try and just tuck up behind his rear bumper to pull him up to the 10th place, 9th place. So that's good move there from Russ, and very tactical at this stage of the season. Certainly being down at the back of the grid by no fault of his own in qualifying has made it exceptionally hard, but has done a really good job at the start of this first race to get up with a fighting chance of trying to get into that reverse grid pole of 10th place. Being held at the moment by Pierman, who is 3.7 seconds behind Ronald Moon, so it's going to be a real big fight for Fowler to try and get that 10th place, but I'm pretty sure he'll do what he can to get it done.
Yeah, biggest move of the race is Russ Fowler and Ivan Pinocchio up 6 and 5 places. Paul Hayden is also up there in 5th place, up 5 spots as well, but Fowler starting, well, kind of in no man's land, so he did get a lot of freebies at the start of this race, so I would have to give that to Pinocchio, who was down at the front, up at the front. Ferrari and Nilpa in a drag race. Ferrari on the chase, able to swing it around the outside right there and to get ahead of Nilpa to retain that lead. As I believe Skinner and Diamantis both have the same mindset of, we're just going to wait. 10 minutes remain. Not enough to make this a 4-car fight for the lead, because when these two ahead start fighting, it is time for us to strike. And oh, Diamantis! Oh, a nice save right there.
Definitely is, but these front four doing an exceptional job, really, of just keeping it nice and clean. A bit of battling out the front between Ferrari and Malepa there, but yeah, as we rejoin back here with McMullen in 14th, looking at Clasper in 13th to try and get that position back, but a bit away off the field at the moment. Obviously, Damien McMullen currently 4th in the AM Championship. This result really won't move him up in the stakes, but we'll close that gap really to Goosens, who needs just to be aware. I don't think he's going to improve anymore. Currently 20 seconds back down there in P19, and McMullen could bridge a gap between himself and Goosens for that 3rd place. He's going to need to try and get every single position that he can do, as he watch him 2 by 2 wide here coming down into Griffin's Bend, starting out for the mountain section again.
Yeah, McMullen has an outside chance on getting 3rd place in the Mazdas. That he actually has an outside chance of winning as well. And with Goosens, with that incident, he will be gaining a few points on him right there. But you know, he's got to wish for 2 terrible races for Goosens and 2 fantastic races for himself. He's got one of the key components right there, but right now, currently, he's not showing the pace that he needs to do to improve ahead of everybody else and get into that spot he needs to be.
Definitely no. I think a little bit too far off. I mean, Goosens does have 2 pit lane starts, so we'll be starting in the pits as well for race number 2. But I think his challenge for the AM Championship overall is probably gone. Bingham's put himself in a real strong position at the moment, securing that P8, only losing 1 place. But that second group is starting to break up a little bit. We got Bingham, as we're watching out on screen. The Moon's just behind him in P number 9, just making a move on him. So Tom just letting him pass, and we'll just tuck in nicely behind him. But we can see the cars in front of him now, all spreading out. This group was quite compact, but has now spread out across the field. That's probably not going to hurt Tom too much, but especially with Fowler being in 12th place at the moment, you know, that's 4 places, should gain that and close that gap at the top of the AM Championship.
Yeah, the points are single-digit points, so we are in Format B, so that will be 2 opportunities for points each race. And so right now, Tom Bingham, sitting in 9th place, is getting 49 points right here. And compared to Russ Fowler, who is in P12, will just be getting 43. So at the end of this race, they keep these positions. And oh, around goes Zerdutsky.
Oh,
at
with
Hell
a little bit of
Corner.
help from Clasper. A little bit of help there from Clasper coming around Hell's Corner. Clipped the back end of Suzuki. But that's a perfect solution there for McMullen, gaining 2 easy places to do everything he can do. But certainly a battle here ensuing up in 11th place between Pierman and Pinocchio. Just to try and get that reverse grid pole. Fowler just getting off the back as we see in the shot there, but Pinocchio really putting Pierman under a lot of pressure for that reverse grid pole for race number 2. And we've seen this before from Pinocchio. I think it was Oran Park, if I'm not mistaken, where Pinocchio had a pit lane start and pretty much got back up onto reverse grid pole for the second races and just went on leaps and bounds from there. And it certainly looks like here at Bathurst, he's doing exactly the same.
Yeah, Ivan Pinocchio definitely has the pace to do that. And back to what I was saying, currently right now, it's a 2-point gap advantage Fowler for the AM Championship, which is just going to make this be even tighter. Pierman going a little bit deep, heading into the Dipper as Pinocchio just following him. And there's a spin up ahead. That's Ronald Moons facing the other way.
Boy, he's in no man's land. You know, really has to be careful of cars coming down. Oh, no, he puts himself right across the track.
Watch out for McMullen. Everybody else coming through there. He's got to really pick and choose. He's got a big gap right now for him to make a correction. Wait, no, that's not a gap. I thought he had that moment. No, moves. And watch out.
This is an Austin Powers moment if I've ever seen one. I mean, that's a 50-point turn there. Unfortunately, trying to floor it to spin the car and just can't get the space to do it.
It's a Mazda. You can't spin out the rear end. You can't spin out the rear end. And because of that incident, Tom Bingham has moved up to 8th, which gives him 51 points now. And now Tom Bingham has a 1-point lead. Oh, no. It's gone down. It's Russ Fowler. It's the same because Fowler's in 11th. They both benefited that.
Fowler is not that far behind Pierman, and obviously he's fighting hard with Pinocchio. So Fowler really needs to try and get that gap, because that's where the car 89 is. In fact, the car 277 now is that reverse grid pole at the moment. So if Pierman really wants to challenge Bingham, because Bingham is within that reverse grid pole at the moment, will be on the second row in 8th place, with Pierman on pole and Pinocchio in second, but Fowler will stay in 11th, so that will give advantage again for the second race to Tom Bingham. So Russ Fowler really does need to get that 10th place.
And because this is Format B, each of the points are separated by, well, I believe they're separated by 3 points. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but looking, okay, they're separated by 2 points. So it's currently Russ Fowler has the AM lead by 2 points right now, with Bingham in 8th place with about 2 laps to go. At the start of next race, if Fowler finishes behind Tom Bingham, if this race ended right now, and the next race, if Fowler finished behind Tom Bingham, they would be tied on points.
Just be honest with us, a really interesting second 25-minute race going to be coming up shortly here on Apex Racing TV, and don't go anywhere. It's going to be thrilling. And we haven't really talked about the Pro-Am. Shamantas doing an exceptional job at the moment. Was a 1-point difference between himself and Kezia for that 3rd place. Currently in 7th place. Bologio in 6th, was 2nd in the championship. Probably a little bit of a gap, too much of a gap for Germantis to be able to bridge, certainly with Bologio in 6th place at the moment. But Ziki, who was the leader, is in the pits, and he's really got to be careful here, because if he goes
Oh, that could get spicy, and off the exit, you see Skinner giving Nailpa a tire bumper and a half right there as they race it into the final corner and into the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Bathurst for the first of 2 races here today.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's the last lap shootout again. Ferrari in the front.
This is where Skinner and Yamantis are going to start getting a little bit spicy right now. But Nailpa is going to be making that car really wide, trying to attack on Ferrari. We'll see what is going to go down with this top 4 right here. Ferrari, Nailpa, Skinner, and Yamantis all have a chance to win this race. You see it got a little bit dicey coming out of the chase that last lap, but there's 1 lap to go. Skinner had a great run. He could have stolen the win right there if that was the last lap, but it was not.
Is.
Also, Bingham has fallen down to 9th place now, and Pierman is on the attack.
Could be trying to get that reverse grid pole.
I don't think Tom would. He will be. They're both going to be starting on the front row. If Tom's going to start right here. If I was Tom, I would just go for the points, stay in 9th place, because you just lost a few points advantage to Fowler, who is now just in 11th spot right there. So that advantage of 8 is going to fall down to about 4.
4 points.
Fowler.
Yeah, it definitely is. But Fowler will see Tom just in front of him. And unfortunately, when they start this second race, he will see that he's about 10 places in front of him for that second race. So not the ideal start for him. But are we going to see a carbon copy here of the first round that we had?
Ferrari's got a 6/10 gap to Nailpa. Nailpa, he's got a good run up. He's going to be gaining that entire second group is going to be gaining a lot of speed. But you see Ferrari weaving down the straightaway. I'm not sure that's in legal conditions for you to do, and he's done it about 3-4 times now. And now that gap 3/10. Here comes Skinner. Skinner looking onto the inside of Nailpa. Skinner going to try to swing it around to the outside right here. Ferrari defending onto the inside to cover off Nailpa. Skinner, unfortunately, couldn't clear Nailpa right there. Ferrari is leading him into the final round by 2/10. Nailpa is going to have one last shot going down to the inside. Skinner's thinking of down to the inside as well. Looking around the outside, Yamantis might try to take a surprise switchback on Skinner right there, as it's going to be Ferrari taking the win, followed by Nailpa, Skinner, and Yamantis. I'm pretty sure there might be little people upset about the weaving on the straightaway by Ferrari. That was 4 or 5 times he might have switched back. And Pierman sends it down to the inside on Tom Bingham to the final quarter, giving Tony Pierman 9th place. Tom Bingham will be getting 10th place. And Bingham will be starting up on pole for race number 2. And now the advantage, that 8-point advantage for Russ Fowler, has now gone to 6-point advantage. So for Tom Bingham, was that the right move?
Well, the thing for Tom is that he does have reverse grid pole here for race number 2.
He would have been on the front row anyway if
he would have.
I don't know. Finished in 9th.
Yeah, I don't know if he gave it to Pierman there, but probably just saving it.
He didn't defend it. He definitely didn't defend it.
No, he did. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Well, if I defend it, Pierman may hit me at the rear end, and that would cause me out the race. So, probably thinking long term, as Tom normally does, thinking, well, if I get P10, that's P1 in race number 2. So it's going to be interesting for me and Russ. So he's got a bit more to do. He needs to have a bigger gap between himself and Russ here for race number 2. But it's certainly heading up for that grandstand finish, and it's going to be interesting in the pro-ams as well, with Ziki down in 21st position, and his main rival Matteo Baloggio finished that race in 6th, would have closed that gap and maybe even have taken the lead here. So it's going to be close.
That's a lot of damage for Lee. Did he might have attempted the jump right there?
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we're definitely going to find out who's going to be the champion very soon. But before we hop off for a little bit of a break, here are our race 1 results. Roberto Ferrari takes the win ahead of Christian Nailpa, Dan Skinner, Arias Simantis, Paul Hayden, Matteo Bartologio, Bartomos Cadenzia, Ivan Pinocchio, Tony Pierman, Tom Bingham, Russ Fowler, David Clasper, David McMullen, Michael Lacey, Orazio Principata, Ronald Moods, Jens Goosens. Disastrous day so far for him, throwing him out of the fight for the AM Championship. Rafael Lenzi, Simon Serrano, Lee Shields, Jacob Zerdutsky, and Jay Walsh, who didn't even take the start of this race. So 21 cars finished here, and I'm really excited for race number 2.
Yeah, definitely are. But before that, we'll just have a little bit of a breather and have a message from one of our sponsors. So we'll see you back here very shortly.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Ahead of race number 2, 25 minutes left of the season around Mount Panorama. We just saw an excellent first race, so it's really shook up the championship in the Pro-Am and the Am categories. Jacob Zazicki was our champions leader going into this first race. Only a slender 9-point gap over Matteo Balloggio that's seen all that eaten up, with Balloggio finishing in 6th and Zazicki finishing down the back end of the field. We'll be under pressure now from Marius Gimantis to try and keep that second spot at the moment, with Kedja not far behind. So that Pro-Am championship really opened up. Same with the AM championship we saw there, and we'll see Tom Bingham on the front row of the grid here for race number 2, getting one place ahead of Russ Fowler. So he needs to make sure there's at least 2 or 3 cars between himself and Russ Fowler to try and clinch it. So certainly a lot to look forward to in this race number 2. The pros pretty much all cemented where they currently are at the moment in the championship. But one thing to do mention is Ivan Pinocchio again finishing 8th in that first race, starting from the pits. It just shows what the guy can do from the pit lane starts, and he's done it twice this season already. So watch him in this second race coming through the field.
Yeah, this final race is definitely going to get a little bit wild with a lot of stuff going to turn up right here, and I'm very excited to see what goes on.
It certainly is, and with this reverse grid of 10, it really opens up the field as well. And I'm just hoping that Tom, and I'm sure his dad Simon Bingham is hoping that Tom doesn't do a false start off the line, being in that pole position like he did in Spa. So I got my fingers crossed as well as Simon, his dad, will be at home probably nervous, and hopefully his son will do well in this second race. So Tom Bingham sitting out on pole position for race number 2. So quickly take you through your grid. We've got Tom Bingham in 1, Tony Pearman, Ivan Pinocchio, Ketsia in 4th, Bartololo in 5th, Paul Hayden, Yari Gimantis, Dan Skinner, Christian Napella, and Roberto Ferrari round out your top 10. Russ Fowler in 11th place, David Kasper in 12th. 13th place, Damien Mullen, Mikko Lees, Principato, Ronald Moons, Jens Goosens down there in 17th place. It's a disastrous day for him. Lesney, Serrano, Shields, Zicki in 21st. Watching that Pro-Am title slip away. Really needs to do well in this second race. And Jay Walsh heading off the end of the field here for the second of the 25-minute laps around Bathurst.
Yep, 25 minutes around Bathurst. Here we go for one final time. It's the final race of the season here on Apex Racing TV for the Apex Racing League Mazda Championship. It's time for one last time to get ready to rock and roll and go. Wait for it. Green racing here at Bathurst.
And Tom manages to get a decent start there, not getting that jump start, so gets a really good start. Pierman managing to get at the second, but Pinocchio dives down his inside, takes that second place off him.
What a start by Pinocchio.
That was outstanding, wasn't it? You know, a little bit of a gap between himself and Bingham ahead, but pretty much will get eaten up pretty quickly on this first lap. So Pinocchio in prime position here to take the last race win of the season. Pierman in third place there, managing to keep that. Kezia in fourth with Bartologio in fifth place. Paul Hayden managing to keep it in sixth. So all the cars keeping it in a nice line. And I don't believe, again, second race in a row, touch wood, that we haven't had a crash around the first corner.
It's only been 2 corners. You can't say that.
They're the ones that you have the most issues with, I believe. And as there's only one real line through the mountain section, hopefully all the drivers will keep it.
Like I said, it's only been 4 corners now. And you see, Bingham already under pressure by Pinocchio. Pinocchio putting in a lot of pressure. Ferrari putting in a lot of pressure on Nailpa. Let's see if Bingham plays it smart. Lets Pinocchio by, or is Pinocchio going to try to force himself by? We've seen Pinocchio do this at Skyline in the past seasons. Are we going to be seeing it right here? No, we are not going to be seeing Pinocchio send it up onto the inside on lap 1 on the current leader in the fight for the lead, Tom Bingham. Currently the AM Championship leader, as there's a little bit of an incident in the background. I think Clasper might have fallen down and... Oh, okay, there was just a disconnection. Never mind. I've gone crazy, and I'm just looking for drama anywhere I can see it. As we're exiting from the mountain for the first time, and everybody is looking spick and clean right now. And now Tom Bingham. Oh, he's being pushed along by Pinocchio right there. He's probably saying, keep doing it more. Give it all the beans. Get us away from this pack. I don't want to be caught up right there. But then now Pinocchio goes down to the inside. Here comes Tony Pierman. Is Pierman going to look down to the inside? Yes, he is. Bingham all the way onto the inside. Early braking move by Tom Bingham, probably to let Pierman up ahead. And then they all go off track, and off track goes Pierman. And Bingham is going to get that spot right back there. But now 3 wide going into the final corner. Pierman's going to have to watch out right there because Bingham's up ahead. And we saw this into the final corner in the last lap. Bingham around the outside holds it into second place, and now we got 2 AMs sitting second and third, and that's Kaditsa and Barcelo trying to go down to the inside right there. They've got Pierman defending onto the inside and attacking onto the inside as they go side by side in the fight for fourth place right there. Bergologio and Kaditsa definitely on that attack, and you can see it's not a draft line at all going on out here. There are 3 wide down the straightaway trying to get an advantage on Tony Pierman and Tom Bingham, but you can see they have their own little groups right there. That's Paul Hayden, I believe, on the inside. Yamantis helping out around the outside. This is great news if you're up there trying to get escape. That's Skinner.
Skinner getting a hit there
on the outside.
Yeah, so I heard a hit going into Griffin's Bend, so I think he, as our producer's saying, has blown his engine going into Griffin's Bend, so going down. Oh, it's
harvesting. What is that? Nailpa was bouncing up and down through the corner. I believe Hayden might have got. They lifted the bumper of Hayden, and then they got underneath Hayden right there, and that caused the car to bounce up and down like a Ferrari down a straightaway. And I am not sure I've ever seen that in iRacing before, but Nailpa's front end, well, definitely the sides of the car is destroyed right there. How has that happened?
I have no idea.
Can we get an onboard of Nailpa? Please, we need to see an onboard of Nailpa of this, because this is Paul Hayden. Nailpa, oh, they blinked out. Then I guess they were peered inside of him.
Brilliant. I bet it was, because obviously Nailpa was blinking in that first race. Maybe blinked out and back in, and then
yeah, that's what we saw. They reappeared and they were inside of him at that time. I knew there was somehow one car underneath another. I'm not sure how they got there. Well, now we know how that happened. And Nailpa, oh my gosh, probably probably shaking their head and just like, okay, enough of that. Tony Pierman on Tom. Pierman around the outside. And then there's that rabid 3-car fight. Let's see if Pierman's able to keep that car under control this time. Hits that inside curb. Hits that outside curb. There we go. As right behind him. And there's contact. Bergologio and Yamantis. Oh, they get off. They push each other off the right. Well, they push each other back on it. In the background. Who was that in the background? Somebody went flying into the wall. I think that was Zerditsky. Or somebody got very loose. Went off the grass right into the grass right there. And update. Oh my gosh, a lot of things are happening right now. That fight's still going on. Tony Pierman put in the fastest lap of the race with 2:32. And Tom is still right there. Look at this fight. I believe that was Jacob that might have went off the track through the chase. Because when you get that camera angle looking down into the final corner, any car that flies across the screen, you just think that they're crashing. Now Tony Pierman under pressure by Tom. Tom looking down to the inside. Definitely not playing it. Not being consistent. Not consistently just staying behind him as he goes down to the inside. Pierman under pressure by Kaditsa. Kaditsa definitely putting on a lot of pressure on Tony Pierman. Pierman's going to have to hold that line tight. Goes out wide. Might have had a little bit of touch right there. Now Kaditsa under pressure by Paul Hayden and Roberto Ferrari. This is an absolute fight, and that's a wall. That was a wall strike from Kaditsa as Hayden is on the bumper right now. This is all happening right now. It's only been 6 minutes. You think this would be a 15-minute race? Heck, only a 10-minute race, honestly, for the aggression happening in this group right now.
It's not very fair aggression, though. You know, there's been some good passes. You know, maybe
it's not been overly aggressive like we saw at Hockenheim Ring. Here comes Ferrari. Ferrari trying to swing it around the outside. We saw this down the field earlier in the day with Lessie on Lency. As somebody locked up just a little bit heading into the dipper. You can see it's just an absolute tight situation up front right here. Bingham at the front of this group. Right behind him, that's Kaditsa, Pierman.
Bingham and Pierman, and obviously Pinocchio managing. You can see him further down.
Pinocchio's 3 seconds ahead of this wild mess behind him.
Just see him down there, just going over the top of the hill. But what the thing was, that Pro-Am, so Bellocchio with his 6th place did take the lead for the Pro-Am championship with his altercation with Jamantas coming down to this corner of the chase. Ketsia has now got the advantage in that championship. Oh, as you see Ferrari.
Ferrari. That was clean by Ferrari. The outside line was slower. He switched back onto the inside right there. And now Tom Bingham attacking Pierman onto the final corner. Tom Bingham, I don't think he knows what spots he needs for the championships. I don't think he's being updated. He's just going for as much spots as we go. 3 wide across the start-finish line.
Ferrari's going
to try to make it 4th. He's going to rejoin Aiden right there. Everybody goes down to the inside. And Tom Bingham, a little bit of contact right there. Makes a little bit of contact with Kaditsa. Bingham is falling down to 6th place right now as all that chaos. Bingham was kind of stuck in the middle, unable to find a real spot to either swing it around the outside, and he's still stuck in the middle right there. He's got people bump drafting on the inside and drafting on the outside. He can't slow down. He somehow finds his way onto the outside line right there. Tony Pierman is putting it up to Roberto Ferrari, sending it down to the inside. There's chaos up ahead, and there's a 3-car crash into the wall. 4 cars are in the wall. Ferrari, we saw Tony Pierman send it up onto the inside. I guess Ferrari, unfortunately, big crash right there, and Ferrari is in the wall.
But Marco's clasper there.
Yeah, look at Pierman. Pierman was on the inside of Ferrari, sends it up. Oh, he hits Hayden, and then Ferrari goes onto the inside and gets collected right there. So the 277 aggression down to the inside. Tony Pierman tried to go for all the marbles right there, and unfortunately got stuck up there in the marbles and a little bit of oil. And there's definitely going to be a lot of people upset at the 277 right there. And now that puts Ferrari down to 20th. Kaditsa up into 2nd place. Yamantis in 3rd. Malpa in 4th. Lessie, Bingham, McMullen, and Russ Fowler has gotten into 8th. Russ Fowler is currently 3 spots ahead of Tom Bingham, if we're going by spots, currently right now, Russ Fowler would win the championship.
He certainly would, but just looking at that Pro-Am, I mean, wow, this second race has just thrown the gauntlet. So we did have Bellagio, who got second place in that, sixth place in that first race.
20th now.
Yeah, so Ziki, who was who was the leader coming into this race, had another 21st. But look at Kedzia, currently in third place. If he keeps it as it is now, and the other guys where it is, Kedzia will take that Pro-Am title. I mean, it's just so topsy-turvy in this last race, and these Pro-Ams are really battling hard. And Jamantas May, who's currently in the P number 2, he could actually leapfrog up into third place overall. So, I mean, it's just all changed in the championship, lap by lap here. And obviously, like you were saying, in the AMs, Bingham, who was our pole sitter for race number 2, currently in 6th place. Fowler's dropped a position down to 9th place.
Now, I believe it's Bingham who has the AM Championship lead. It's the 3-spot gap that Fowler has on Bingham, which is just 6 points separating them, and about 3 spots is an average of 2 points there. But when we get up to that 3rd spot, which is the key, it jumps another point, and that's allowing Tom Bingham to get the championship by 1 point currently right now. So this is absolutely hair-raising for all the championships. And up at front of this is Yamantis trying to get all the points. Like you said, trying to leapfrog himself into 3rd place and get that trophy. And Kadica, well, just trying to win the dang thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. But, you know, Kedzia just managed to overtake Jamantas going into Griffin's Bend. But Jamantas is pushing him extremely hard at the top half of this section on the mountain. Literally right behind him, trying to find the opportunity to pass. So these two really having a great battle. Nalepa there in 4th place, just hanging on to the back, having prime seat to watch this battle unfold in front of him. But Pinocchio at the moment, wow, that guy has just checked out. 9.6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, Pinocchio's still in this race. Pinocchio's still in this race. There's a crash behind him. There's a giant fight. Pinocchio is in a practice session.
He certainly is. I mean, he's going to be around about 10 seconds with all the action that's been going on behind him. It's pretty much gotten up. If you can see the gap there in front of him, literally.
It will be greater than 10 seconds at the end of this race. I will not be surprised if it's 20.
I know.
Look at this map. Look how tight that group is. 2nd to 11th is in a train right now.
Can't even see the numbers. That's how close they are. As you see, Jamantas trying to get past on the outside here. So
Jamantas chopping the nose on the entry. And you can see the entire sea of red. I think everybody has just went off track right there.
Yes, but these two are jostling for position, and just decided, you know what, I can get this third place from you, Kedzia, and manages to take it. So Kedzia losing 2 places in the space of 2 corners here. So at the moment, Jamantas getting a little bit of a respite from Nalepa in 3rd place, giving a little bit of a gap between himself and Kedzia at the moment. But Kedzia still in prime spot at the moment to possibly win that Pro-Am championship. I mean, there's just so many permutations that's happened in this second race that I'm going to have to wait for the points and just try and confirm it, but it's certainly going to be extremely close, like it is in the AMs as well.
Speaking of extreme, Jacob Zerdutsky, after disastrous round 1, is up 13 spots from that start.
Look at the big hitters there. Hayden, Pierman, Ferrari, Bellagio, Skinner, all down. I mean, Bellagio's a lap down at the moment, indicated by that blue in his name, and really needs to make sure that he stays within that 2-lap barrier, or else, you know, could score 0 points for the second race, which could be disastrous. Not sure of his drop rounds already within the season, but doesn't want to rely on his drop rounds. But
I don't think anybody wants to rely on drop rounds right now, as there's a scrap at the front. Bingham's kind of losing the ground on Kadica and Lessie up ahead, as Nelpa leads this little small group now. Kadetsi in 2nd place. Yamantis after that. Somebody's hit the wall. on the inside right there. I think that might have been Yamantis leading out there, but now that front group starting to pull away.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap, a little bit of air between Jamantis Napella in third place, literally 0.8 of a second, but that will soon get eroded coming down the Conrad Straight. Can easily make up 0.6 of a second coming down here, but Damien Mullen under a lot of pressure from the flying Tzatziki at the moment in 8th place, just lining him up to see if he can make a pass down into the chase, sort of side by side.
They can catch Tom. Both of these drivers can catch Tom right here if they really want to chase it after in the braking zone heading into the chase. It's not going to happen right now, but Tom Bingham, he's got to keep it under control because currently he's in the championship position, but if Zerdinski passes him, it's going to go to Fowler.
It's so fine margins here in this last race of the season. You couldn't wish for anything more of a 12-round championship coming down to the last race and the last couple of positions made up if you get lose or win. You can see
Bingham, he let him die.
Yeah, you can see Fowler there just behind. You got McMullen just behind, in between Fowler and Bingham at the moment. And like you said, Austin, this hands the championship to Fowler at the moment. So
and now Fowler is looking to make that even more. He knows he's racing Bingham, but he pulls out away because right beside him, that's Ronald Moons. Ronald Moons could be the man to help out Bingham right there as they're going to go side by side. Moons, if he sends it down to the inside, oh, I swear Moons could have put a nail in the coffin right there. Well, put the advantage because Moons in the Pro-Am. He's got Moons and Leslie behind him on Russ Fowler. If one of these two can make that move on Russ Fowler, that will be advantage Bingham. And you can see Moons all over the place. Moons looking onto the outside right now. Moons has got a good opportunity to deny Russ Fowler of a championship. And remember, it was Ronald Moons who, in qualifying, hit Russ Fowler to make him start all the way down the field. And he had to claw his way up. He led the championship by 8 points leading into race 2. Into race 3, it was now 6 points. And part of that was because of an invalid qualifying attempt because Ronald Moons behind him right now had a little bit of contact with him. It knocked him out in the chase. Are we seeing a little bit of defiance from Russ Fowler denying Ronald Moons right here? Well, he has to deny him to keep the championship spot just out of pure spite.
But is this going to be deja vu here, as you said, in qualifying?
I hope it's not deja vu. I really hope it's not deja vu.
I know, I really don't, because that'd be a bad way to lose a championship again. But as you can see, Ronald moves right onto the rear bumper of Russ Fowler, pulls out to the left-hand side. So we'll have that inside track into the chase. And like you said, this is the all-important position. Ronald Moon's getting a better run here through the chase and manages to get that position.
The inside. And he took a lot of curb right there. He's off the track. Fowler can hold it around the outside. Fowler holding around the outside. He does not retain the championship lead because Tom Bingham has just passed Kaditsa up ahead.
So, changing at the back here. I mean, Tom's doing an exceptional job trying to do what he can.
Oh, that's Moons around in the background.
Oh, wow. I mean, that could have quite easily picked up Russ, but Ronald Moons luckily just takes himself out of the race. So the AM race for the championship is still very much on. But like you said, Bingham doing everything in 6th place at the moment. Looked like Kenzie had a bit of an issue. Maybe his car's slowing down a little bit.
I think, did what we might have saw from Ronald Moons. I'm expecting just a little bit of off-trackiness or something. I don't know how it happened, but there's a big gap between Bingham and Kaditsa. Kaditsa, I think, just got pushed out wide, and Bingham just took advantage of that. Up into 6th place. Now, advantage Bingham. And with about
7 minutes, 6 minutes. Wow. I mean,
I am buzzing with excitement right now.
I know, it's an absolute epic race here.
And I don't know who is still going to win either of these championships. It could go either way.
I know. I mean, both of them are on a knife edge, the Pro-Am and the Am Championship. There's literally one car difference in the Am Championship of who wins or who loses that championship spot. At the moment, advantage Tom Bingham, but you can see here, Russ Fowler heavily putting pressure on McMullen just in front of him in P8. So it's going to be a battle between them two. I think Russ is slightly faster than Damo at the moment, so he's going to do everything he can to try and keep his car right behind him for that slipstream effect down the Conrod straight to try and get that passing move done. Bingham's got about a second, 0.7 of a second behind Zertzicki in 5th place, and really needs to try and get that, because I think that Fowler is going to make the move coming down here on McMullen into the chase.
McMullen is the gatekeeper for the championships for Fowler. Fowler looking down the inside. Fowler's got the nose ahead right now. Ken McMullen holding around the outside. McMullen has the inside line. He's not going to find it onto the brakes. Russ Fowler, advantage championship now.
It's like a boxing match, isn't it? Each round that they go around here. Only 4.5 minutes left here at the championship, so it's all down to what Tom Bingham can do now. Got a second to try and find to get that Zicki in 5th place. It's going to be a big ask for him, but needs that slipstream, and you got a bit of a gap between Russ Fowler and Kedzia in 7th place, so it's all down to Tom now, and Kedzia takes a massive offline route down there in Hell's Corner.
But now Fowler, he's got 2 cars behind him and a 2-car draft train. That's McMullen and Lessie behind him. Kedica falling away from Bingham up ahead. Here comes McMullen. McMullen looking on to the outside of Russ Fowler. Ken McMullen holding around the outside of Griffiths-Benz. Fowler goes deep into the brakes to hold off McMullen right there. McMullen trying to go for a switch. That's going nowhere pretty much. And now there's Lenzi. Lenzi looking down to the inside of McMullen. And now Lenzi, can he get that move? He's set up on the inside. He's not going to be able to get that inside line. And if you're a big, you're like, get past him now.
If you're Russ Fowler, it's like, yeah, you two fight.
I need Fowler into a fight, not you two fighting behind Fowler, because if they fight behind Fowler, Fowler's going to be in clean air, and it's going to be all on Bingham to make that moves ahead of him, or people in front of him making the moves for Tom Bingham. Why I say that? Because Zerdetsky and Lessie are going side by side on the entry of the Dipper.
They are so close now. He was a second behind. He's now 0.6. Literally see him within fighting distance now. So as long as he can keep this gap here, Tom, he'll be right on Zertzicki in front coming down to the chase. So has got a good opportunity here to even leapfrog 2 places here, which will seal it for him. But he's vastly running out of time. Probably 2 laps left to do here, as long as Tom can keep that gap and close it up.
It's not 2 laps left. It's going to be 1 lap left. 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh, it is, yes.
Left. White flag is in the air. Here's Zerdetsky on the outside of Leslie as we ride on board of Tom Bingham. Bingham looking on to the inside down through the chase. He is charging through there, but covered off by Leslie. Leslie attacking down to the inside of Zerdetsky. Bingham's going to have to get onto the binders, and now that's Kedica on the back of Bingham right now. White flag is in the air. Bingham goes wide. Kedica's now forcing the inside line on Tom Bingham. Tom Bingham's getting defensive, saying, I need every spot I can get. Defense onto the inside. Stays ahead of Kedica in 6th place. White flag in the air. 2 minutes. Well, yeah, less than 2 minutes remain. There's Barney waving the white flag right now. Tom Bingham, he needs every spot he can get, because he sees Fowler is still right there. Bingham attacking Kedica, holding him up, but Kedica attacking on Bingham, making it even harder. Kedica takes 6th place. Bingham in 7th place. Advantage, big advantage to Russ Fowler right now. Tom Bingham, he needs to wait for the chase and go all out right now in this final lap. He needs 2 spots to win the championship ahead of Russ Fowler behind him, and one of those spots is right beside him.
Oh, I mean, that was super close. Really didn't need Kedzia to fight him that much coming into the end of the last lap, but has made it really hard now for Tom. He's got to try to get past Kedzia, but Kedzia's got to get up onto the back of Lease for Tom to try and do a 2-car move coming down the Conrod straight. So it's going to be a real tall order. I mean, if he can do this, I mean, it'd just be an absolute epic end to this championship.
McMullen is on the back of Fowler as well as Lency. Now, this could happen to McMullen and Fowler. If Lency and McMullen get past Fowler right now, Fowler will lose the championship because of these two charging right behind. But they've been stuck behind it, but the chase can bring anything to happen right now. Just 4 seconds behind of Tom Bingham. Could he win the championship if these two get past of Tom? But Tom, he's at the tail end of this group up ahead. Heading into the chase, Tom could get a absolutely banger of a run. You can see him setting out wide, looking for a great slipstream opportunity. These two cars up ahead, they're all defending over each other. Leslie and Kaditsa. Can Tom follow through on them and get a double overtake right there and take the championship? He's falling right down. Leslie under attack by Kadita. Kadita looking down to the inside. Side by side they go for 5th place. Tom Bingham right onto the bumper of Leslie right now. Is Tom going to go attacking onto the inside of the chase? No, he's going for the he's just staying right behind. He's banging his money onto the outside line. That's a off the track bullet by Kadita. Bingham's got one. Can Bingham get the second one? Can Bingham get Leslie into the final corner? Leslie defending onto the inside. And Fowler under pressure by Lency. And Bingham on the outside of Leslie. Can Bingham hold it around there? Leslie goes a little bit tight. Bingham gonna try. Bingham's got the line off the exit. Tom Bingham gets 5th. Fowler falls down to 8th place. Fowler's gonna hold 8th place. It's gonna be at the line. Russ Fowler, P8. Tom Bingham, P3. P5. I can't speak. That is 6 points right there. We are tied for the AM championship.
Wow.
My God.
Wow. I mean, what I mean, Bingham had to put it all on the line there to try and get that 6th place.
And he did.
And
he got 5th.
He put everything out there. I mean, what was the gap between them? There's got to be thousandths of a second between the two. I mean,
my gosh. So the lead heading into this race was 6 points.
Well, I'm gonna do the points to confirm, so we're not speculating. So I may go.
By my calculations, they're tied.
Well, let's have a look. That was absolutely insane.
So what happens if they're tied? Does it go by best finish position?
It goes on countback, doesn't it? I think. We'll have
to the last round, that would be Tom Bingham, right?
We'll have to consult the rules. Yeah, I think we're going to have a look at this. So I'll just try and get the points. Oh, wow. I mean, what a finish to that race. I'll let you go through the results while I upload the points and
go through the results. I'm going through my head. What did we just witness? Fowler defended from Leslie perfectly, and he kept his position. Tom Bingham did everything he needed to do. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that was just insane.
So, Ivan Pinocchio, by the way, was in the race. He took the win. The only pro in the top 10. Oh, this is the most unprofessional moment in my mind, but I don't care. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you. Ivan Pinocchio, it takes the win here, the final race of the season, followed by iRacing Mantis, Christian Del Pel, Jacob Zerditsky. Tom Bingham did everything he needed to do to get that championship in the final 2 corners, and he is in P5, tied technically, from what I know, with Russ Fowler, followed by Miguel Lees, Bartos Kaditsa, Russ Fowler in P8, Rafael Lency in 9th, followed by Damon Mullen, Jens Goosens, Lee Shields, Ronald Moons, Paul Hayden, Simon Serrano, Tony Pyramid. Somebody just did the jump. David Klasper, Roberto Ferrari in 18th. They're followed by Matteo Barlogio, Dan Skinner, Orazio Principato at the end of our 21 car grid that took the start. And, well, I see Tom in the interview waiting area. Andy, can I bring both Russ Fowler and Tom into here right now? We break the news right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just uploading the points, so I'll be able to tell you. But ask him about how the race may end.
Okay, I'll Russell, Tom, I got both of you in here at the same time. How was that final round?
Well, I don't know the result, so I don't know what the result is.
All right, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Fowler had a 6-point lead heading into the final race, which was
Okay.
about 3 spots ahead of him. With that final move that you pulled, Tom, you finished 3 spots ahead of Fowler, so I believe y'all are tied.
Oh my god.
Literally just uploading the points now, so this is.
Andy is doing all the work behind, confirming with the rules, doing all the countbacks and things, just trying to confirm. But Fowler, you want to talk about your race today and trying to catch Tom? He was putting it all on the line up there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I didn't start well for me because I didn't set a time in qualifying.
Yeah, with that incident with Ronald Moons.
Yeah. I was on for, I don't know if it was a reasonable lap or not, but yeah, so finished right at started right at the back, fought my way up and finished 1 place behind Tom. So I thought, game on, we're all right here. And then of course, Tom was in 10th, so he was in pole. So I just had to kind of, I don't know, just
head
race
down,
clever.
push.
Yeah, hope that he came back to me, and he did. But then I was watching the kind of, I don't know, there were, I think Tom was battling with 3 other cars at the end.
Gaggle,
Yeah.
craziness.
and I think it sounds like he pulled off an absolute champion's overtake on the last bend. So congrats to Tom, because I'm pretty sure by my own calculations that Tom's got it. So a worthy winner, I think.
I jumped out. Let me tell you, I jumped out of my seat, and I think Andy is standing by with a trophy to present.
Yeah, definitely. And I can confirm that the winner of the AM category is
Drum roll.
Tom Bingham by 2 points.
Well
Well played,
Well, I
Rivers.
mean-
So honestly, like I said at the beginning, it was mate, it's been fun battling with you all championship, 100%.
Yeah, same.
I mean-
well done.
Thanks, mate.
guys,
Thank you.
Going into that last race, I think every single lap, the leader changed position every lap. And I think it was that last-ditch effort that you just did there, Tom, at the end to pass Michael Lees for that 5th place that got you that win. So, I mean, what an epic overtake to get.
Yeah, well, I have my stream app, and one of the guys that comes in for all the Mazda races, he said to me, I think you need to have 2 or 3 spots. And I was like, oh crap, okay, what do we do? I was like, oh my god, it's white flag. Okay, well, we'll just try and stay close and try and get a run down the straight. And then luckily, I don't know who it was, the 2 guys in front of me, I wasn't even, Kedzia and the other guy, they went, Miguel, yeah, they went a bit deep, and I thought, right, I've got a chance here. So I got past Kedzia, and then it was just, I didn't know whether to try the inside or the outside, and luckily, I don't know what it was by a nose, I think.
It was so tight, and you're gonna be replaying that final call, that final lap on broadcast for a while, because that was insane. But as Russ Fowler did say, that was a championships drive to earn the championship right there. Tom Bingham, you are the Le Champion of the ARL Mazda M class. Before we let you go to celebrate and cheer and do whatever you want to do, anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank all you guys at Apex. I want to thank Damien for keeping us entertained in the chat and stuff. I want to thank Russ for an entire season of ridiculous battling. I think it was at Red Bull. We were side by side like the whole time.
Yeah.
So that was absolutely wild. And I want to thank my wife for putting on my sim racing, all the Performance Link team, and anybody else that knows me. So, but especially Russ. So it was, I'm sorry we didn't get to battle it out at the end, but man, it was, I had to work for it. All right? It wasn't just given to me.
Cheers, Tom.
Cheers, mate.
I mean, that was just epic. Ross, you've done a sterling job, mate. You were nowhere really, always languishing there in 5th place up till about halfway of the season, and then all your fortunes started to change, and you gave it a grandstand finish. So commiserations for not getting that 1st place, but what an epic display out there on track, and you must be proud of 2nd.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, a few rounds ago, if you told me I would be battling, for 1st in the last race, I wouldn't have believed you. I just had a really good run, and a lot of luck, I think, to get me into that position. So I'm not disappointed, honestly. It's been a brilliant season, and echo what Tom said. It's been absolutely brilliant battling with Tom all the way through the season. So yeah, I'm still very content with a second place trophy that will adorn my shelf in my office very nicely. Thank you very much.
Well, that's a very dignified way of putting it, Russ, and congratulations. But before we let you go, mate, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll do my usual. Big shout out to my wife and my kids for putting up with my my practicing and all that kind of stuff. Big shout out to you guys. Always enjoy the commentary. It's brilliant fun. Massive shout out to Tom and Damien and the other chaps. And a brilliant season of racing. So yeah, all good. And looking forward to starting the GT3s tomorrow with you guys, with Tom and Andy in Performance Link. I shan't be as fast in a GT3, I'm afraid, but I'll try my best.
Well, good luck, mate, and congratulations on the second place.
Excellent. Cheers. Thanks, Andy.
So there was the two winners. I mean, what a grandstand finish. And just looking at the other points, the Pro-Am, a surprise for me, the winner of your Pro-Am is Arias Jomantas. He managed to leapfrog both of his competitors to gain that top spot. But Jacob
Jomantas.
I mean, he was nowhere. And then all of a sudden, that race absolutely stormed it. And managed to get 10 points ahead of Zerdzicki, who managed to secure second, and Matteo Bellagio in third place. Obviously, this is pending any protests or any penalties the drivers get, but
I'm pretty sure that there are going to be a few penalties, but for all I think there's only one incident that's going to be penalized, and it doesn't involve any of them.
No.
So I believe that's it. Like, this was the best way you could have ended the season right there.
It certainly was. But we do have a couple more drivers we'll get in for their views of the race and their views of the season. Who would you like to take, Austin?
Damien McMullen and I have always been close, so let's bring Damien in here. Damien, how was that race, man?
I don't want to see the results anymore after today. Oh, yeah. It is what it is, but I enjoyed it.
You seriously did enjoy it, and judging by your team, I guess that was a little bit of nonsense happening back there.
Yeah.
When you were nose to tail with Russ Fowler, did you know that you were on the cups of taking the championship away from Russ Fowler? If you could have made that.
Don't say that. Oh. Now I need to bury my head in sand after that. Jeez, but no, look, fair dues for us. He deserves it after that season. I took it away from the championship points, so well done to Russ, honestly.
He didn't win the championship.
Well, yeah,
you could have made it easier for Tom, but you didn't.
I didn't want to upset their championship. We've been talking before the race and all that. I said, well, we're not going to try and upset anyone.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Did you know that Russ was battling for the championship, and did you know that what he needed? So, no, I was just asking if you knew that you being ahead of him would not help him, and so were you just not trying to pass him at the end?
I don't know. I just said the Hail Mary and just sent it.
Okay. Well, it's a P10 overall. It's a P4 at the end of today. How are you feeling after today?
Emotional. Really emotional. No, I really enjoyed it. Honestly, the whole season's been absolutely savage. Been outstanding. 12 weeks just went very, very quick. Too quick, I think.
Oh, no, don't tell Andy that. He'll make this an entire 30-week season.
Yeah, 52-week season.
I was going to say 52 weeks if you want to do it. I'm all game for that.
Oh, no. It's a weekly Apex Racing TV series.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Well, Damon, it's been a fantastic season for you. Before we let you go, I want to go celebrate and just go chill. Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Formula Nonsense, Fleet.ie, yourselves in Apex for an absolute savage season. And to everyone that was in my stream early on today, I really do appreciate it. I know it was only at 6 or 7, but that's the good numbers for me anyway. So again, to Tom, well done on the championship, and I'm coming back for you for season 5.
All right, thank you, Damien. Congrats on a fantastic race today, and over to Andy, who is standing by with, I believe, somebody else.
We go with Ziki. We haven't had him in the box, I don't believe, this season. So welcome to the comms box, Jacob. I don't know if you've seen the results. I can tell you now that you came second overall with Arias Germantis just pipping you for that first place. How was that race for you, mate? And probably want to forget, really.
Hi guys. Yeah, I saw the results. Of course, it's quite sad for me, but I also saw the team standings, and in the team standings we won. So from hell we went to heaven on the team Discord, and right now we're still happy. I'm still happy about result. This race, we did some mistakes. I didn't get a chance to do a second lap on the quali. Then on the first race I got problem with one driver. I don't want to say anything. I don't know. I didn't saw the replay. We clashed right in the front of the mountain section, and that was it for my race 1 basically. But race 2, with a bit of luck, I made it very far, so I'm very happy with race 2.
Yeah, your second race certainly made up for what was a disastrous first race. Obviously, you know, looking past, obviously you were coming into this round as the championship leader. Didn't have the best of rounds, just got pipped at the last minute by Diamantis there for the first place. But like you said, you know, talking more about your team, you seem to be a very close-knit team yourself, Christian, Napella, and I'm just looking at the other driver. Who's your other driver?
Martina,
that's it. You know, very knit. We've always seen you on the stream, certainly in the qualifying, working together. How has it been for you to have your teammates around you in the championship?
It was very important. It was, let's be honest. We entered here as a team, and our goal was to win team championship. We wanted to win team championship, and every time in every race, we sacrifice our results to benefit team. So we made good qualifications. We're doing trainings together. We went fighting each other at the track. Like the last time on Hockenheim, it was just team decision that Przemysław should go, that he will oh jeez, my English. He will do better. I can be in his draft. We will do better than with me in the front. So my teammates did amazing job the whole season. I did sacrifice a bit. Everyone did sacrifice a bit, and we got the results. We got our goal in the end. So it's great.
Certainly looks that way. And the team championship went down to the wire. So I'm looking at the standings now. 4 points ahead of Pro Drive Esports. Obviously, we didn't have Musamechi here tonight, which might have made the difference, but not taking away your guys' commitment throughout the season, you know, to come straight into your first ARL league, I believe. How's it been for your 12 rounds?
It was mostly fun. So we got some controversial moments, but it was great competition, I need to say. Every track was a pretty good challenge. Some tracks I needed to just relearn. Some were completely new for me. But there is always someone to fight on the track that you're looking for. Fight with him. Like Matteo Barlogio, I need to say, this guy has a class and he's a great driver. He never dive bombs, he never goes dirty on you. He always leaves you space, and there's a lot of more guys like him out there. So it was great championship. Great 12 rounds.
Well, that's always good to hear. And, you know, you've achieved your aim at the end of a 12-week series here on the Mazda Cup. So before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Of course, my teammates, my great teammates, and maybe my family. Some of them were watching. Thank you everyone for believing in us.
Definitely, and thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you in many more Mazda Cup seasons to come. So thank you very much, Ziki, and congratulations to Hyperon Motorsports winning the team championships here, provisionally in the Mazda Cup. So great work there, mate. So that was Ziki there, and that rounds out our interview tonight. And Austin, you joined the comms team again on probably the best race that we've had in the 12 rounds.
I think I think I just bring amazing racing or something. I don't know, but whenever every time I'm in here, it's just been absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely love commentating in this series. Way more better than I love racing in this series, because oh my gosh, but what a season it's been.
It certainly has, and rounds out a 12-week season. 2 brand new formats here. I'm pretty sure we'll bring something brand new for the next season, which will be coming up sometime in May. So, you know, from the winners overall provisionally, from Roberto Ferrari in the pro categories, from Arias Germantas in the pro AMS, and from Tom Bingham in the AMS all-class winners, and obviously Hyperon Motorsports for winning the team championship. My name is Andy Thompson. I've been joined tonight by the wonderful Austin Knight, and in the production box, always the silent hero behind the scenes, Samuli Kumo. So from the Mazda Cup, from the very last time, look forward to seeing you for season 5 when it comes out in May. My name's Andy, and good night, and see you soon.